Hello everyone and welcome to the MMO development class meeting number 7, I believe. And if it's not, just look at the number inside of the video system in 3D Buzz. But I do believe it's number 7. So tonight we have joining us Mr. Zach Farish.
Good evening.
We've got Lee Renaud.
Hello.
And Mr. Nelson LeKay. And we've got a handful of you guys in the classroom that are joining us. Actually, we've managed to hit 43 over on the attendee list.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, very, very happy to see that. So a few things that I want to go over first. It appears we've been running for the last 10 minutes, 15 minutes before starting the recording, and there has not been any serious problems to present themselves, but I am running the web to meeting in a sandbox right now. So I was, just the new install of my machine, almost nothing is installed on the machine. Everything's protected rather on virtual machines or behind sandboxes, and it's been the most spectacular install ever. And I just wanted to make sure that we weren't running into any issues from the sandbox, but it appears that we are not. So I just wanted to throw that out just in case anything odd took place. Next thing I wanted to mention, for those of you that are out of the loop and you have not visited the classroom or the lounge lately, day before yesterday.
How did you get in here?
We touche. Well, they may have just come in long enough.
I'm just saying. First thing came to mind.
But the day before yesterday, Lee and I released 33 new MMO development videos with, let me think, a few of them being an errata for session 5, a few of them being an errata for session 6, and then we got a very nice start on session 7, which gets into the basic sculpting system. And last night we worked all throughout the night and all the way up till what? About 8:15 this morning, your time, Lee. Yeah. And we are almost finished with the session 7. Lee put in a little bit of extra effort in making a cute little UI for controlling the tools, brushes, and stencils, which is awesome.
That looks very nice, actually.
It does. It looks very nice. Lee did a professional job. And for those of you... Do what now?
Except for the coding, as everybody will find out when they watch those videos.
It does what it has to do.
Yeah. But for those of you that follow me over on Facebook and chat with me over there, which I thank you very much, especially for Andrew, who I don't think is with us right now. He's probably asleep, but he did an awesome job of keeping me company while Lee was doing some of the more boring stuff during recordings last night. So I was able to give him a nice little shout out
horrible,
on the
really.
video. No, it's not. I'm just being honest.
All right.
It's better than lying, right?
That's true.
So
setting the same settings on about 30 different files does get boring.
It does. So, Lee, I do have a question for you. Do you have a lot of software running right now? Photoshop, Unity.
Doesn't that basically mean yes? Because you're talking to Lee?
I'm wondering if that's where he's getting his popping from.
Oh.
Because remember, even ours starts to do that if we have too much open with this thing running.
Yeah, I could probably shut down a bit of this stuff.
63 applications running.
It's like, well, I've got Crysis 2 running over here and Portal 2, and here's Unity running, and here's Photoshop with a 2 gig file open. And
yeah,
no, the only thing would it be was a couple of copies of Firefox and Visual Studio, but I did have Unity.
You lost me at Firefox. As soon as you said you had 2 copies of Firefox, that's all your RAM taken up twice.
Yeah.
Okay.
About that.
Okay, so I was just curious about that. So, anyways, these 12 new videos went out today. As far as the Facebook thing, I was just saying that I again, while sitting here twiddling my thumbs, again, Lee was just doing the not so exciting part. I took a screenshot with an actual camera, my phone, and then uploaded it to Facebook and said, "Hey, here's the UI we're building," and had a little bit of interaction with a couple of the students out there. So it was actually pretty fun. But I do, Lee, really appreciate your efforts going and spending the time to put a little snazzy UI in there, because it does go above and beyond simple GUI work in Unity. So for those of you out there that have never played with any of the GUI elements, this will be a good opportunity for you. And let's see. So anyways, those videos were just over 4 hours total, and they are now up and available. And not to put this on Lee's shoulders or anything, but as long as Lee is feeling good tonight once we finish, I would like for us to wrap up session 7, which will probably be no more than 5 to 10 videos, and then that'll be it. Which is very important to me, because once that gets out of the way, we're then moving into, and just now looking over here at the IRC, where Mr. Chipsius,
That's the way I pronounce it.
is asking session 8. We're actually going to be discussing that tonight. I told Lee there's so many cool things that we've been playing with, and some really nice examples that Lee's put together for me, like 2,000 plus trees in a world running around, which is awesome, because you truly feel like you're deep in the woods.
What was really awesome was the fact that it was only 35 draw calls.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Zavrek. Anyways, I can't read. I'm tired. Said that multi-threading. Yeah, that's another one. The day-night system that Lee put together. I really cannot wait to see that get flushed all the way out, because
the sky.
We can actually have storms roll in and go from a clear night to horribly cloudy and dawn, dusk. I mean,
Did you ever see the example that I had with the gas giant?
I did not.
Alethea?
No,
oh,
I
man,
did not.
You missed that one.
Yeah, I did.
I had that at one point too, so you could fade it in and out.
Yeah, and DMJ said, unfortunately, each draw call lasts 17 seconds. No, we were, with the 2,000 trees, what were we getting, 500 frames a second?
500 or 600 frames a second.
Yeah, 500 or 600 frames a second. So we're trying to keep those frames per second extremely high when we're running around on the train, because we don't want to blow our entire budget on just the terrain and everything.
Well, what was amazing is I showed Jason a little thing that we've got to sort out with the character, because the moment we take the animated skin off, our frame rates jump over 1,000 frames a second. We get about 1,100 to 1,200 frames a second with our system when the character isn't in it.
So yeah, it's the character that's really, what's weighing the system down now, not the terrain system and all, which is great. Especially since we haven't gone through and put an actual architectural design on what's being put together. All of this is, yes, Lee, you are using classes and all, but for the most part, it's all procedurally done. I mean, it's all straightforward, very procedural. But there are, and you know this, a lot of things that we can do to speed things up. And we will address these things, once we are for sure that we've nailed down some of the various ways that we're doing things. And I think we're getting closer and closer with the base terrain stuff. I saw a question a second ago from Chipsius asking how many more R&D sessions do we see? We have no idea. That's what we said from the very beginning, is we could not put a syllabus on this, because this is not a normal class. And we're not a game studio, because we still have to produce content for regular member sponsors that aren't in the class, and we've just got to keep this business running, because we don't have funding. Though I do have a very close friend of mine who wants so desperately to get us funding, but at this point I've told him no, thank you, because he's seen some of the stuff that you guys have yet to see, and has, I would say, strong beliefs in us. Wouldn't you say so?
Yeah.
He's been pretty blown away with everything he's looked at, which makes me feel really good. But I'm more interested in producing some of the most interesting content that's ever been filmed before. And as long as we continue with how we've been doing it, we're going to end up with that. We're going to end up looking back in 6 months from now and going, wow. I mean, even now looking back, it's wow. Because for those of you that don't know, we're just about to break the 70-hour mark. And that's pretty darn amazing. So anyways, hopefully, Lee, tonight we can get those wrapped up. A few more things that I wanted to mention. I said that Blender 2.5, that we were going to try to accommodate students. And it's funny because I promised Zach and Lee at the very beginning of this crazy idea of doing an MMO and filming it about, close to a year ago, that don't worry, we'll use the tools we want to use, and because it's a camera over the shoulder, so it's a relaxed environment. We do what we've got to do, and we're just recording it. But we have been bending more and more to accommodate and help students with Blender 2.5's release. Blender's a whole new application as far as I'm concerned, and it's going to provide exactly what we need for asset modeling, and Zach has been getting pretty darn slick with it. Yeah. You guys should see the Viper he modeled out. That's looking pretty darn sexy. The organic one, by the way.
Yeah, it's the Viper Mark 7, not the car, the space fighter from Battlestar. As a matter of fact, if you thought of the car first, you have to turn in your geek card now.
So we're going to, we've been doing videos tomorrow. All of you guys, because you're all member sponsors, of course, I'm going to do another sneak peek release for you guys in the member sponsor lounge area. These will be the super high res, no ads for you guys. So again, please make sure don't go throw them up on a torrent site somewhere, because then we'll just go back to doing the ones that we're going to freely release to everyone. I'm just trying to give you guys the sexy looking videos.
Yeah.
I know Zach doesn't like me doing that, period.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the same information either way.
But it is the same information.
And if you just go ahead and give everybody the final version, you have nothing to worry about. But it's all good. I mean, I'm not really complaining.
I haven't seen the other ones show up anywhere.
I'm not complaining.
Very happy about that. So I've got those encoded tonight. I just need to get everything in place. So again, tomorrow you guys will get those. And it's close to 3 hours worth of content. It's, what is it, 12 videos maybe? 12 or 13 videos, but almost 3 hours of content. And I do believe, Zach, you pretty much wrap up all of the UI stuff in it. And from there, do you recall on your list what?
Well, there's still a few more aspects that don't necessarily have to do with exactly what you see when you first launch the UI. But
oh, that's right. I know you have customization.
There's some user preferences stuff just to make sure everybody understands all the really cool things you can do in that window. There's a breakdown of how Unity manages scene data, which is unlike anything you would have seen inside of Maya or 3ds Max. It's very unique. And cool once you get the hang of it. There's a lecture over just some of the little cool tools you might have seen floating around and wondered how they work, like the grease pencil tool. Mm-hmm. And then we get into a series of modeling tools and a quick modeling project for making a very cute little character, which there's no reason why he couldn't be put into a game. He's pretty low res.
As a matter of fact, we could just go and get all that worked out and do the whole workflow for everyone.
I would just need to I've still got to spend a little more time with the armature system and rigging characters up in Blender, because I'm still very much a Maya guy when it comes to rigging.
Oh, look what Moose just said. He had a friend that had been using 3ds Max longer than he can remember, and was willingly switched over to Blender after his 2 weeks of learning.
Well, somebody asked if Blender would be better than 3ds Max. I can't say better if you actually have both the applications. If you went ahead and bought Max and you've already got a license of it, and you're comfortable using it, and it's churning out what you need, then there's no such thing as better. Right. It's just what you're the most comfortable with. If you haven't yet bought Max, then financially speaking, it could be better, because really Blender will probably be able to do everything you need to do for Unity that 3ds Max could do, but saving you, $2,000 or $3,000.
Right. So I just want you guys to know that you are really the ones behind all of these Blender videos, so that for those of you that don't have thousands of dollars to run out and buy some of this commercial software, such as Max or Maya, you'll be able to follow along and design your own assets based off of all the stuff we're recording, because that's what we're going to be using. Also, we will be discussing animation in Blender, but our goal is to move all of the assets from Blender over into Messiah. As most of you guys know, Messiah, they did a really awesome thing when they put out the Messiah Standard and Professional for $10 and $40. I still can't get over that. Just
lots of people went ahead and picked it up.
blows my mind. And I won't. There's some very interesting features in Messiah that I think we would benefit greatly from.
Well, can I speak candidly for just a minute?
Go for it, Mr. Parrish.
They're in an interesting position. Not that many people use Blender. It's very much a niche product that folks in the industry use, but mainstream, it had
Blender?
no presence. No, I'm not Blender. Thank you. Messiah.
Okay.
Misspoke. But Messiah had that kind of niche presence. It wasn't a big mainstream app. You never really heard people talking about it. If people wanted to learn it, nobody wanted to because not enough people were using it, so there wasn't enough of a demand. They could have released it for free just to get it seeded out there, but just by showing a little bit of value, you get all these folks interested, and you just get a whole bunch of hands on the product. Now, in a year or so, when they release the new version and that sells at full price, by then they will have seeded the market. They'll have this entirely new group of people who are suddenly using it and used to it and loving it, who will now consider actually purchasing it. It was actually a really good move to pull them out of a background product into something much more mainstream.
Yeah.
I was really impressed.
But once again, I want to get you guys video. Basically, we're just going to provide fundamental videos for the Blender stuff and for the Messiah stuff. We're going to develop a workflow that we like that ends up with good results inside of Unity for our game, and we're going to make sure to get all of that captured for you guys. Obviously, the first thing we've got to do is get those fundamental videos put together for you, and that has been that's been something that we've been pushing hard on doing. So like I said, you guys are going to get the second drop of videos tomorrow, and you're going to have quite a bit. So yes, we are. The question that just came in on the IRC is, so Blender, Messiah, Unity. Yes, that is what we're looking at doing. There are so many videos on 3D Buzz that's about Max, that's about Maya, and ones that deal with FBX as well, formats. So I like this idea because this means anyone can follow along, and neither of those software packages are
what they have or have not added in terms of general features to the application, but I can say they finally made it usable, and really that's all I ask.
Yeah, you're just jamming right along.
I hated the interface before. I hated it so hard. I mean, I would launch the app and just go like, ugh, what am I looking at?
Now, Big Chuck asks, will Endorphin work? What is a commercial
license of Endorphin run for?
Endorphin running these days? I remember when it was 18 to 20 some odd thousand.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't, but I don't know really why you'd want to go that far over the top.
Yeah, I mean, unless they've changed, and it's very possible they've added tons of features because it's been a few years since I sat down and talked with them.
Yeah.
But I mean, back in the day, it was more of a simulation-driven system where characters,
realistic ragdolls, that sort of thing.
Yeah, characters were set up, and they react to situations. I'm using it as a free app. I don't know. I'll look into it, Big Chuck, and I'll see where they stand these days and what it provides. But I would definitely suggest, unless that's something you're very comfortable in and it exports out to FBX and all, then you could be good to go. But Blender is going to be the primary focus as far as content generation goes. And I can guarantee you ZBrush is going to end up being in the mix as well. It just ends up having to be. I mean, it's just become a part of everyday 3D work, so it seems. So that'll definitely be there. Let's see. Anything else that I wanted to cover here? So, for those that may have missed it, once again, for those that have not been around to the site lately, we released Drop 2. Was it Tuesday or Wednesday?
I thought it was Monday.
Was it Monday? Maybe it was. Monday or Tuesday. Sometime earlier this week, we released Drop 2 of the Unity third-person game videos, and Drop 2 will conclude all of the artistic setup for the level, all of the volumes that are required, etc., etc. And we'll be moving into Drop 3 next week, and from there on out, it's all coding, getting an actual game into place. So that's just letting you know, just in case you've missed that. Next thing I want to spend 1 second and talk about, and this is something that I'm sure there's some of you that are going to grumble about, and I'm sorry. This has been stated up front from the beginning, and that is that the token system is about to go live. I said it was going to be going live, just didn't know when, and it was just something that we needed to get time to work on. But it is finally going live, most likely tonight. If not tonight, then tomorrow. Chipsius asks, can I show off my tokens? And that's funny, because Zach was just earlier today saying, I don't want people showing off their tokens.
Yeah, I really don't.
That's funny. It was the first question that was asked.
He was the first person to post about it. He was actually the guy I was talking about.
Oh, I thought you were just saying...
Oh, no, I said we've already got people wanting to, unzip their fly and whip out their tokens to show off.
I misunderstood. Aaron! Oh, it's good to see Aaron in there. Aaron asks, what is the token program? The token program is something that is designed to protect, not protect, to be fair to those of you that have been with us and have been investing with the class since it began. And let's say we fast forward 8 months from now, and those of you that are still in the class with us, you've invested all this money, and the last thing that we want someone to see, or we want to see happen, is for somebody to come into the class in 8 months from now and have access to everything for $35, where you've now invested, the last 8 months or more of money paying for your monthly fees. And so basically, when you get put in the class, so if you're a member sponsor for the last 3 years and you got put in the class yesterday, as soon as you get put in the class, that's your first token. The next time you pay $35, basically the next time your subscription fee comes out, the system automatically gives you another token. You may have noticed in the video system that we are breaking everything down into chapters.
Each chapter corresponds to 1 month or 1 token.
That's right. So we're trying to keep that nice and simple. We're not going to have the same amount of content in each month. There might be some months that are very technically challenging, and we end up with 10 hours of extremely complex stuff. I doubt seriously that will never happen. But at the same time, we may have a month where we've got 50 hours, 60 hours of content because we're flying through art assets or who knows.
But we just need a way to kind of divide it up. And since you guys are paying for your member sponsorship on a month-by-month basis, it makes the most sense to divide the content up on a month-by-month basis.
And again, there's there's a lot of you guys that have been with us since the very beginning on this. We're into chapter 3 now, just started it. So let's just say 3 months back. And so you're going to have access to everything. Though if there's somebody in this class right now that just became a member sponsor a week ago, you're going to roll back to a single token. Mm-hmm. And I did warn about that in the forums. And I said, don't look at it as a bad thing. Look at it as right now we're giving everyone in the class free access to everything. So no tokens. And make the best of it. Now, most people can't sit down and watch 70 hours of content, over a weekend. I say most people. I mean, there are people out there like Gavin, who I don't know how in the hell he manages to do it, but he does. Mm-hmm. And he really does, because some of the things he says to us, like, yeah, he's definitely watching these. But, so for someone who's just starting out in the class, it should work just fine, because they're going to have tons of material to watch. It's just if we put out something next week that is absolutely amazing, that's in Chapter 3 and they're at Chapter 1, they can't get access to it. Now, a second ago, Chipsius asked about, could someone pay extra months to get extra tokens?
Yes. And
the answer is yes. So, and that's why we had a few of our members.
That's actually why the system's going up tonight instead of last night.
And yeah, because of what I'm about to say, we had a few members that were pretty clever and said, look, I've been very pleased with how this is going. This is amazing content. It's worth every penny. So I'm going to cancel my member sponsorship, and I'm going to buy an annual member sponsorship, and I'm going to save a chunk of change and have 12 tokens. So yes, if you purchase a few more months, then yeah. I'll also see, right now I have monthly, but I want to pay annual. If I buy annual, will it take over the monthly automatic? Crash, I so hate to say this, ask Angela, or if anyone else in the class knows, because I don't.
What she's going to end up doing is just canceling
Yeah.
your member sponsorship and then put you in for an annual. So
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
yeah,
I
that's
think
how I
it goes
only
down.
know that because I saw her notes on the matter earlier today.
But the bottom line is, I mean, I shouldn't be promoting this because it's not a help to us. We lose a couple of months, but yeah, exactly.
Well, it's one of those things where it's like, you're right, you shouldn't be promoting it because we lose $70, but at the same time, it's still an investment on their end of what, $300 or
I think
something?
it's $350.
Yeah, something like this. Yeah, but
Yeah.
still, I mean, not everybody's going to have.
But then you don't even
$350
have
blow
to
right
worry about it for a full year. And
Right.
I could be wrong, but I honestly don't think the annual member sponsorship is a. I don't think that's a rolling subscription.
now. It's not recurring.
Yeah.
But it's not by default. Though Angie will contact you at the end of your year to see if you want to do it again or what you want to do.
Yeah, she's really good
'Cause,
about contacting people.
Like I said, I saw today. She's got notes on all that.
Oh yeah, you got to.
It's extensive.
Get a peek into her world. It is pretty crazy, and I just saw the question about how come Angela never says hi on these videos. She's so shy. She is horribly shy. I'd love to get her on these things. And Gavin, do not put math up. I will throw you out of this class. I don't want my head hurting any more than it already is. Jeez. All right, so token system tonight or tomorrow. The final thing I want to say about that is when it goes live, if for some reason something's not working, like let's say you've been in the class since the very beginning and you can't access month or chapter 3 or chapter 2, please PM Zach.
And let me know, because it's probably just some little miscalculation. We should be good. I did my very damnedest to double and triple check all the numbers. But it's entirely possible somebody slipped through the cracks, and if you end up being one of those people, just PM me and I'll look into the situation, and I'll either fix it or say, actually, you only signed up 2 months ago, so you're not going to be able to see month 3 yet.
Right.
And at the very least, I'll be able to give you the reasoning behind why you might have lost access to a few videos.
Okay, but the bottom line is if there's a glitch or a problem in the system, we'll want to get your issue fixed immediately.
Yeah, we'll get it ironed out.
Okay, so now, you guys ready for some awesome news? We actually come bearing awesome news.
No way.
Yes, it gets better. It does. I didn't think tonight could get any better, but it does. Zach has been working on this for a while. He's been quiet about it.
Oh, God.
Hang on a second. I got to refresh his memory.
What are we talking about? Oh, that. Yeah, well, thanks. I actually did forget about that.
Yeah, this is huge.
It's easy for me to forget how awesome I am, you see.
Zach's been working on this for a while, and it panned out. And I was shocked. I think Nelson was shocked. Lee was shocked. But for those of you that are following along with the ASP.NET stuff or Nelson's Corner or anything that we're doing in the MMO, you all know by now that we make heavy use of ReSharper.
In fact, I've read several complaints about that.
ReSharper is by far my favorite add-on to Visual Studio. It is amazing. Well, Zach has worked it out with the company. JetBrains, that's right. He has worked it out for everyone that is in the class to get a 1-year license for it. But now, that's awesome.
And when that 1 year's up, I can probably sweet talk them into extending it for another year.
So now the way this is going to work...
let me guess, Chipsius bought it.
Did you buy it, Chipsius? No. Well, I bought it too, so...
Seriously, if you bought it, you're better off, because I would much rather own it. But because you're really only getting it for a year. It's not like I'm just giving it to you forever.
But they also said you get all of the upgrades that come out in that year, too.
Yeah.
Which
so you'll be able to stay completely up to date with it, which is very cool.
I think we're going to see Nelson 6.0. We should easily see that within the year, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I've been looking into it. They're adding a lot more
JavaScript. Are you keeping up
and
with
CSS
things
support,
they're adding?
And most importantly, they're adding a reflector type tool to it. They're built right into it, and it's supposed to be better than what Reflector was.
Yes, isn't that awesome?
That actually is.
Yep, that's exactly what I read, and I was like, oh my God, I want to get my hands on that now. That sounds absolutely awesome. So
here's how this is going to work.
Here's how this works because of how the licenses are being tracked and everything. Each of you that want to take advantage of this, you need to send Zach a PM, and then Zach will send you back your license. Please do not share your license with anyone else, so when it registers, you don't screw everyone.
Yeah, no, actually, just don't share it because you'll screw yourself out of your license, first off.
Well, yeah, because
it's just for one person.
Right.
And then if you hand it out to anybody, then great, you just lost your copy of ReSharper after all that work.
They have bent over for us, but they did give us a set of rules about how we have to do this.
Yep.
So,
and I have a set number of licenses that I can work with. They've been very accommodating. I don't want to dig through all the details, but they have been very, very accommodating. So send me a PM. You can for somebody else. Where do you send Zach a PM? I'm just ZAK, Zach on the forums. So go up to your PM box on the website and type in send new PM. Send it to ZAK. And tell me in your subject line. Sorry.
I'll make this easier for those that don't use 3D Buzz and know all the savvy talk. Or email Zach. It's okay, Zach.
I really was hoping to try to keep all these sent to my PM box.
All right, then do it. And there you go. Thanks, 3D Spider. 3D Spider put a link out that you can use. Just make sure you're logged in at 3D Buzz. Perfect.
There you go. It's just so that I can organize them. That's
fine.
Because I do have all these license numbers to deal with. Please, in your subject line, mention ReSharper so that I know what I'm clicking on before I even open it.
So, yeah.
And I'm not going to give everybody a mandatory subject line. That always fails. Every single time I ask for a mandatory subject line, it always fails. Just please make sure you mention ReSharper.
But honestly, for those of you that don't know what ReSharper is, it is the most amazing add-on, in my opinion, that you can have when working in C#, when working in the IDE. It is such a tremendous time saver. And if you are new to programming, it's very helpful as well because it's constantly
if you're new
going.
To programming, you're about to get addicted to it.
Yeah, because it's like, you could do this a little bit better. Here, let me do it for you.
Yeah, exactly. Literally, it'd be like, oh, by the way, you should really be doing it this way.
And then after you get really like Nelson's so fast at it, I have a hard time keeping up with what the heck he's doing. But you can shift around, refactor. You can do so much with code all in a matter of seconds once you get the hotkeys down. It's amazing. But it is a very slick piece of software, and they are now going to allow us to get license for each and every one of you that would like to have access to it. And like I said, you get it for a year. So I'm excited about that. Big Chuck says VTMs for ReSharper. Nelson, you did
there's
a Nelson's Corner
we just
or two
quickly
over
glossed
that,
over some of the most used stuff. But, I mean, there's like, as long as you pay attention to the squigglies and you know a few things like the Alt-Inner and Alt-Insert and Control-Shift-R, and then at that point you're you know 80% of the product.
Mm-hmm. And then if you can't remember anything, anytime you see a little light bulb pop up on the left-hand side, click on it. It's ReSharper telling you stuff. And it's just awesome. So anyways, I thought you guys would really enjoy hearing that news tonight. I am...
yeah, thanks for reminding me. I totally forgot.
Yeah, I'm really, really pleased with that news. Now, before we start off with our discussion on persistence tonight, because that's everything that I wanted to go over with everyone, are there any questions? Because I'll wrap this video up. We'll start a new video straight into tech speak. So if there are any questions, now's a great time to go ahead and throw those into the IRC. Preferably the IRC. Let me see this application over here. Derek is over here. I didn't even realize Derek was with us. Hang on.
Oh, hey, Derek.
1 second. Let me... Derek's a presenter. Da-na-na. Da-na-na.
Oh, by the way, just for those who are listening, if you do send me a PM for your license of ReSharper, please don't expect like a 5-minute turnaround and therefore, send me like 5 different messages. Each of you is going to get one license, and if you message me multiple times requesting, I might accidentally just remove your license. Totally by accident. Just reach in and say like, you know what, I'm going to deactivate that one. So,
Hey,
So
I'm
yeah,
doing
please,
well.
just once, because I will answer
what is
everybody.
today?
So right before I start
Thursday,
going down through the
Thursday or
questions,
Friday,
Derek,
wherever you're
Mr.
at in
Stevens,
the
how you doing, sir?
continental U.S. or world. Um, hey, I really want to see a picture, first of all, of your epic beard.
Well,
I'm
thank you very much, sir.
Dude, because I'm an artist, and when Zach said, or was it Lee, that you hide food in it, I'm like,
You do, actually. Yes, you do.
No, see,
I
I
do
just
not
picture,
hide food in my
No,
pit.
dude, he could hide Vietnam veterans in here.
Who was it teasing me about a bird sticking their head out from, what was it, The Simpsons or something? Or no, Family Guy.
think that
Family
one was
Guy or
The
The Simpsons.
Simpsons.
But it was
dude,
Angie or one
you
of my
can come
girls
to
teasing me
Asheville,
about a
North
bird was going to
Carolina.
end up
We have
popping its
hippies
head out.
everywhere.
And
You would fit
it's like,
right
oh,
in.
good.
So just,
Okay,
you don't have to wear
yeah.
your shoes, don't have to bathe. It's awesome.
Well, Lee, you fail. Everybody says it's
I don't
Family
know.
Guy.
I keep picturing
Aaron,
Captain Caveman
I'm pretty good
myself,
about answering my
whatever.
PMs, but give me 24 hours just to be safe, okay? I will put out a batch of them tonight. So if anybody who messages me during the show, when we get done, the show, thank you, the class meeting.
Yes.
I will take care of everybody who messages me right after the meeting. So if you want it tonight, and you absolutely have to have it tonight, then make sure that you do go ahead while you're sitting at your computer, because you have to be at your computer right now.
Yes.
And go ahead and take a moment and shoot me a PM, mention ReSharper in the subject line, and I'll see that you get your license tonight.
Yes. Let's see. Which before we move from Aaron, I just wanted to thank Aaron for being so patient with me as we've been going back and forth with emails, and I did get your most recent one. I've not yet had an opportunity to read it, but I promise you it's not because I was doing anything other than just recording and work. That's been all.
Absolutely was not too busy playing Portal 2 to respond
I
to you.
wish.
Actually, that was me.
Yeah, that was you. I
Yeah,
wish.
I was totally too busy playing Portal 2.
But I will be getting back with you, Aaron. Zach is in a different boat. Zach's not trying to destroy his health like me, so he knows when to call it for lunch and when to call it for. I say evening time, but him and Nelson pushed it pretty hard last night. But yeah, getting a hold of Zach, you'll get a response quickly back from him. But I just wanted to say that real quick because I really do appreciate when people are so patient with me. Just like Mr. Leonard, who I see came in not too long ago,
yes,
knows as well. Which very excited
Cool.
because Leonard's going to be visiting us here in about 3 weeks or so.
Leonard, did I already give you a copy of ReSharper?
I need to
Or
watch
hook
too.
you up with your license? I mean,
I
that's
don't
the way I should say it. I'm not really giving you a copy of it. You go download the thing. I think I wanted to, but I can't remember. Because I was looking, when I first got access to these licenses, I wanted somebody to test, and I remember looking you up, but I don't remember if anyway, sorry.
Wait a minute, my window's not showing?
Why isn't your window
Probably
showing,
because you
Jason?
made Derek
Hang on.
presenter
If
and
Miley
asking
said
him
something
if he
that
wants to
interested
display the
me.
screen.
I just pushed something. Hey.
Show my screen.
Hey, real quick,
All right,
Buzz, my question.
tell me if you get a display
it may
back.
Be very
There
early
you
on,
go.
but
Thank you,
actually,
sir.
I took a
Thank
break
you very
and I was
much.
telling Candace, I'm like, oh my God, they have like tons of trees they're running through. She's like, well, that's kind of cool. I'm like, you don't understand. Because it's like 5,000 billion frames per second. So what I'm hoping is, do you guys have an idea on poly count for
I can actually
for
picture him
assets or
saying that,
cartoons
too.
running around yet? Or is that so? Wow. Oops.
Four polygons.
For the characters themselves?
We're not. Leah, is it okay if I say we're not ready to discuss that just yet?
Yeah, I am sorry. Yes.
No, not the characters. Well, I guess characters too, knowing Derek, but okay, yeah, we've definitely not taken our current character, gone back, broke it down, and really analyzed what we need out of her to achieve the perfect balance between looks and performance on an average system. So we don't know it yet.
There are tests to undergo.
Yeah,
first.
our sole focus as far as the tech stuff has
Gotcha.
gone over the last month has been strictly on this world. I want a big world that we can do a lot of stuff in, especially if we're able to allow players to manipulate and grow it as well. But we're just looking for the best approach to everything, and that's what's bringing us up to our discussion on persistence here in a few minutes, because we're getting close to moving into that phase. All right, some other questions that I saw that came in. NATO had asked about a game mechanics meeting, and yeah, he said, happening sooner rather than later, and I completely agree, NATO. We need to find the best time to do that, and it's a tricky thing, because I almost don't want to have one of the crazy open-ended ones and then put that video up, because we got several complaints from the last one. People just don't realize how to use the fast forward button. They feel like they have to watch every second, even if they hate it. But I'm not.
Maybe people just don't like hearing a lot of folks talk at one time. I don't know. Or they don't like the idea of open discussion at all. Maybe they just rather have someone tell them what to do and
we
think.
were going to be doing that with everything, which means we'd have had 1 million hours of content right now.
Yeah.
But everything has been, discussed heavily off screen, and then we start recording, and that's been awesome for making these truly educational VTMs. But maybe we can do one like a class, or we can do a private one and just put the results up, or we can do a private one and then do one for the class with what we had discussed. I don't know. NATO, you, Gavin, Zach, discuss that, and you guys tell me what you want to do. If that's not too much of a headache. I'm just trying to delegate, because otherwise I manage to bog myself down too much, and that's
I'm sorry, I'm drawing. I'm putting my pins down.
So,
sorry about that.
Yeah, Derek, you're making noise, brother. You want me to just mute you,
really
so then you can do whatever you need,
you.
and then you can just shout "Hey" if you need to say something? Yeah. Yeah, not a problem, man. Derek has now been muted and can do whatever he would like, because we cannot hear him. So anyways, NATO, like I said, if you could get with Zach and Gavin and go from there, that would be fantastic. Okay, so other questions? I'm scanning now through the IRC. As you guys know, I don't usually stare at this thing. I don't do good at talking and reading at the same time. You guys know I don't even do good at adding two numbers at the same time.
If you're looking for previous questions, I think we've actually been on top of most of them.
Okay, good.
The important ones anyway.
Okay, so DMJ said, what about a non-recorded webinar? Yeah, we could definitely do that for those because then they could just say, I'm getting bored of this, and hang up. It's not a bad idea, DMJ. I like that one. So that anyone could come in.
Though you will end up with people who couldn't make it for whatever reason and will fill up my PM box with 104 reasons why they feel cheated, why it's the end of the world, we're robbing them of the money that they paid, and blah, 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 blah.
Ooh, yeah, I guess. But if we put it up, we're going to get complaints too, so I hate being...
So, yeah, but err on the side of caution. Go ahead and record it, and if somebody complains because they actually clicked it and tried to watch it and didn't like it but couldn't find the courage to actually hit the stop button and walk away, that's fine. I'll just remind them, hey...
Yeah, Zach, you go, man. And look at Big Chuck. Visual tokens. Visual.
That's right.
Show them off to the world.
We don't have to make lemonade, damn it.
Oh, and Aaron wants to know if Derek makes noise... Or does Derek make noise if no one can hear him? It's all a point of perspective. Don't mess with my head, man. Okay, so I'm not seeing any more questions coming in, so what I would like to do is go ahead and close this video out, and then we'll start another one up, and then we'll let Lee and Nelson, and for any of you that would like to get involved, because I've already exhausted myself going back and forth with them over the last couple of days, but start talking about the persistence system and how in the hell we'd want to even approach this, because it's a very interesting challenge. So thank you for those of you all that are listening and those of you that have joined in. That's going to conclude this video. If you need a 5-minute break, now is the perfect time to go get coffee, 3D Spider.
Yes.
All right, thanks, guys.